a group of rogues call themselves Comicsgate, as a way to identify their movement of pushing back against what they viewed as tyranny in the world of comic book creators. This protest movement has generated lots of hate-filled rants and very little in the way of actual products. This group has created a universe distinguished by an angry tribalism that goes against what creativity really is, a way to bring people together around artistic expression and meaningful storytelling. In Greek mythology, the phoenix rises from the ashes while watching a group fueled by a hate-filled philosophy burn out. The universe that is Comicsgate TM has emerged in the spring of 2020 as a global pandemic set in and the world was forced into an enforced stay-at-home quarantine. Preston Poulter did everything else but complain. As the voices of hate and violence from those calling themselves Comicsgate grew louder and more vitriolic, Poulter registered the trademark for the name Comicsgate, and thus Comicsgate TM was born. By doing so, Poulter sucked the air out of a hate-filled movement. Comicsgate TM has put the haters on notice and pulled the rug out from under their ugly, often illegal ways of getting unwitting fans to literally buy into the seeds of evil they've been planting. Along with other creators, a vision for a new universe of artists and fans has emerged.
So that was something. Hi, Vicky.
That fucking cracks me up. I did not write that. That actually came straight from Preston Poulter's Comicsgate TM wiki. In his description, and I'd never read it until someone sent me the archives of it, and
it is cringe.
It is so fucking cringe. Okay, and Billy Basco says it cut off at the beginning and we need a longer intro, but that's actually Dean's fault for
no, it's Vicky's fault.
Live and waiting a few seconds.
No. I played it after
that was
hitting live.
Fucking Dean's fault.
It's Vicky's fault.
It
was actually StreamYard saving you from Vicky's voice, but now she's talking, and I'm sorry.
God damn you, Dean.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's been a busy fucking week, actually, in Comicsgate, which is sort of weird. Quite a bit has been happening, and I guess, yes, Smeeg Pig found that archive for me. Thank you, Smeeg Pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, fuck the chat. Just want to say fuck you guys. It's not my fault. Fuck all of you.
It's always Dean's fault.
Anyways, yeah, no, that's a pretty cringe. But that came from the CGTM universe, which was a pretty failed idea from Preston Poulter.
Yeah, which does actually have something to do with what we'll be talking about in a little bit, just not yet.
Not
yet. Yeah. So, you ready?
Yeah, are we going to go into the...
We are.
Cool.
You need to play the clip, though.
No, well, I was just wondering. I wasn't sure.
Okay. EVS, have you talked with Cecil about his embarrassing thirst for Chrissy Mayer? No, I talked to Cecil about his embarrassing thirst for Anna, though. I swear to God. I yelled at Cecil. I think John and I both yelled at Cecil today. Oh, he's like, listen. Cecil, if you're here, I'm sorry. Oh, God. First of all, what did he do? What did Cecil do with Chrissy Mayer? Cecil made a little private room on Twitter for me and John Malin. And you go yell at him about this. And I swear to God, for one thing, Cecil's full-time out there promoting Anna's calendar. And that's fine. I mean, I promoted it a couple times. You want to do that. You want to promote your friends. But Cecil sets up a room for us, and he's like, guys, anything that you can do to help Anna get her calendar printed. I think she's getting robbed, the price that she got offered. Now, Anna reached out to me and said, look, this was the offer that I got from the one printer I talked to, and it was exorbitant. I was just like, that's too much. And I told her how much I paid for my Cyberfrog calendars, which aren't as nice as what she should be making. My Cyberfrog calendars are freebies. But there's still very nice calendars. You could give one of my calendars away as a gift, and people would be happy with it. But anyway, I told her how much I paid. I said it was like a fraction of what she had, what her bid was. I said, just shop around a little bit. So Cecil opens up a room and he's just like, guys, anything that you can do to help Anna? Like, she's really getting robbed on it. Cecil, worry about cash grab. Worry 1,000% less about Anna's calendar campaign. Seriously. How can I help you? Like, let's get cash grab. The cash grab is finished. Let me help you print it. Let's get it out there. You're sitting there worried about Anna. Anna's a big girl. She can do it. She can absolutely do it. Why are you worried about Anna? So I yelled at him, and John did too. John said, I told Anna, just shop around, man. What's this? What are you doing? For goodness sakes. I will, there are a lot of printers out there, and I will tell you, she'll be able to get a good calendar, like a quality product at a decent price. First time should not be, and definitely the price that she got bid. There's a paper shortage right now. I do know that. That's kind of a pill, but like you can get it done. Somebody will come up with a pretty good price for you. And Anna can do it. And like I said, Anna can do anything. Anna's built her own channel. She's got, almost 250,000 subscribers. She can do it. What is Cecil doing?
Yeah. So wait, she doesn't have this figured out though yet?
The first rule of crowdfunding project management is make sure you have all of your quotes before you put the Indiegogo up.
Well, I mean, but
Just
yeah. That aside, it's almost 2022.
right, yeah.
It is less than a month away.
Back when she launched this campaign, I said that people were going to be lucky to get it in January. It's now looking like February. I hope, but then again, I mean, are people going to be? Are the Anna Sims buying the calendar to check the dates, or are they just buying it to jack off to?
That was disgusting, Vicky. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, probably.
I backed that calendar. You apologize.
No, but seriously, like, honestly, if she should have had this all figured out. She's had months.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, the damn thing should be laid out and at a printer already.
Yeah, for real.
That should have happened last month to get it out in time for January. And I know. But it's the truth. It's the truth. This
that
is
is
not
probably
about,
why people
this is
are buying
not
that
about
calendar.
writing birthdays on a calendar. It's about cumin to it. That's all there is to it. And more power to Anna. Like, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Cecil really needs to start worrying about getting cash grab out. And Ethan was talking about publishing it through all caps, which I think would just be a horrible idea. He already bailed out Kyle Ritter, so now he's going to bail out Cecil. Yeah, and except it's not at a printer, and it's going to come out in January, February. But bailing out Cecil just makes it hard. It just makes the whole cronyism thing like super in your face.
Yeah.
Right? Why can't I mean, if people, there's that phrase, what, too big to fail? It's too important to fail. Fuck that shit. Let it fail. Let stuff fail occasionally.
Yeah.
You can't bail everybody out of their bullshit.
Yeah, what is this? The automotive industry back in 20 something? I forget. Anyways, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah.
I could probably say more, but I we've got a lot to cover.
Ethan says, well, it's not a bailout. He'll have to pay us, Vicky.
With what? Because my theory is that Cecil doesn't have the money to fulfill the campaign.
Who knows?
all those trips to go, visit Anna and send
Hey,
over
yeah.
Anna were expensive.
I'm sure they'll figure it out. They'll
And
figure it out.
I'm sure that somewhere down the line, but I don't, once your book is so late, it's,
Why is it late? Why hasn't it fulfilled?
I don't know. It's been done for five months from what I've heard.
Huh. Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Anyway.
I don't back these comics. I don't give a shit.
Don't back shit.
All right, let's
Before we move on,
oh,
hi to
Yeah,
the
sorry.
chat. Yeah. Since we didn't do that
Wait,
when
are
we
you
started.
saying hi now, Vicky? We're like 10 minutes into this stream.
I am, but we went right into things. Things moved fast.
Things did move fast. I'm pretty sure we already said hi to the chat. Anyways, doesn't matter.
No, you told the chat to fuck off, but nobody.
Yeah, and I stand by it. Fuck you guys. Anyways, let's go into our Niobe comics clip.
Why is there no sound, Dean?
That's on you.
Oh my God, was there no sound on my clip?
I don't think there is.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh no, you fucked it up.
I fucked it up. Okay, anyway, so what happened?
Damn.
Explain it. Ah, God, I'm sorry, Larry. And it was a good one too. Don't make me look at it though. If we can't have
this
the
is your
sound,
punishment. This is
don't
your
make me
punishment.
look at it. I don't know how that happened, but it's been a bit of a day. So, Preston Poulter was on a stream with like 4 people watching on YouTube. I think the guy was streaming on Facebook, and the only person I saw in the chat, what I saw was Larry Higgins of Niobe fame, and he was pointing out as Preston was talking about his books and publishing and publishing this first time creator Larry Holder, God, Higgins Holder, Larry Holder, that I'm totally losing track. So Larry Holder won Preston's contest, the CGTM contest.
Yeah.
I was
and
the
they
one.
They needed Larry Higgins to bail him out. Anyways, Larry Higgins has had has a bit of a gripe with Preston Poulter, and displayed that in a stream that he was being interviewed in.
Link in the description.
Preston Poulter got very, very upset and actually DM'd Larry Higgins, Niobe Comics, on Facebook because he can't do it on Twitter. Right. And Niobe Comics kind of just schooled the shit out of Preston.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And I'm sorry that Vicky messed it up and now you can't see.
Nah, I'm sorry too. Something's got to be my fault every once in a while. But so the contest, just for clarification and honesty and openness sake, I was the judge on the contest. I'm the one that picked Larry Holder's book to win the contest, and the prize was $2,000, which would go towards putting together the comic. I know. Now the idea was that the $2,000 wouldn't be the I know, I'm sorry, Larry, wouldn't be the only money going towards the comic. You were supposed to have your own money to also put into it, but Larry Holder's broke. Larry Holder only had the $2,000 to put into this comic, which is really not a lot. And as most comic book creators will tell you, I am, but I'm a total cunt, and I admit it. Most comic book creators will tell you that $2,000 isn't going to get you very far. And when Larry got screwed by the artist that he first hired, thanks, Dean, he got his money back and turned to Niobe Larry, which is what I'm going to call him because it's easier and that's how I remember him. Mm-hmm. And Niobe Larry hooked him up with his artist from Niobe, who did Holder's comic for the $2,000, which was really fucking nice of him.
Yeah, pretty dirt cheap.
Pretty dirt cheap. The art was really nice. It's got good art. The color, oof.
Could use some work.
The color is bad. Apparently, Holder didn't have enough money to hire a colorist, so instead of publishing a black and white book,
He
which is
colored it himself with crayon.
it does look like crayon. And I'm betting that Poulter is the one that told him not to publish a black and white book.
Yeah.
He's never done one. The comic itself has like 4 different variant covers.
Yeah. And how did Larry
4.
Holder afford those variant covers?
He couldn't have.
Yeah, he couldn't have.
Right. So he has to be, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, has to be just owned now by Preston Poulter.
Yeah. Well,
Literally
Larry, Niobe Larry pretty much confirmed it in his conversation with Preston that Preston owns a good percentage of Holder's comic book.
Holder's comic. You want to go ahead and share my screen?
No.
And I'll share my fucking screen, Dean. So this is the Kickstarter page for Primal Chaos by Larry Holder. Now, what Preston does go on to say is that this is, it's actually the entire Kickstarter campaign is all about Preston. It is nothing about Larry except to toot Preston's horn about how he's been mentoring, and this is the, the fulfillment of the contest that he had. And he actually tells you, which I never noticed before, that Larry colored the comic. And I don't know how I missed that.
In crayon.
In crayon. He goes on to say that Larry Holder is a first-time comic creator, which isn't
But he's not.
Which isn't true.
He is a previously failed comic book creator. That's
So this campaign, it has a cover by Weldon. It has a cover by that's the retail version of the cover, which should have been in black and white, but was colored in crayon. It has a Ben Dunn cover. It has a whiskey paint cover and a Terrell cover. So I mean, somebody who wasn't Larry Holder spent a shit ton of money on all of those covers. Right.
Yeah.
Preston announced or stated on this stream that he will be publishing Larry's previous book on Kickstarter in December. That book had a flexible goal. And unless you guys have a book that's already been printed and is ready to walk out that door, don't flexible goal. It fucks you. It's going to fuck you in the ass every time because you get the money and you still have to fulfill, even if you don't have enough money for fulfillment. So he didn't have enough money to finish the book. He obviously didn't have enough money to send the book. And it's something like 2 years late, at least 2 years late. And so my guess, and this is the only way it could possibly fucking work, because Larry Holder's last campaign only made like $2,400, is that Preston paid for this book to be finished and we'll be putting it up on Kickstarter. And so that's like selling your soul to a publishing devil.
Except for it's worse. It's Preston Poulter that you sold it to.
I mean, how do you fucking do that? I get, being so desperate to want to put out a book.
I don't get it. I couldn't,
I couldn't do it either.
It's like you sold your soul to a guy who sold his back hole. Like,
oof.
That's just
that was rough. And I thought my Anna comment was bad. So
It was. No, not even
Yeah.
comparable.
Now, how this is going to lead into our next bit. I'll show you the screenshot here. This is Larry. Let's see, share screen. Window. I had to open that shit first. I'm sorry. I'm boomering a little bit. Are you sharing my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this was the stream that Poulter was on. And here's Larry's comments. He says, I hope you all run in February or March so I can run against you. And the February or March is actually going to be Preston's book because Preston has decided to save the best time of year on Kickstarter to run his own campaign instead of Larry's. Then Larry says, LOL mentor, what you did was do a contest, poorly ran, which it was because he kept changing the rules about it. Gave $2,000 to the winner, which was not enough to make a comic, then took ownership of his idea. And then, thank God, I came along, right, Preston? Because without me, that book will still not be done, as I legit flat out gave him the Niobe artist. And the only reason Larry Holder's comic even exists is because of me. Ouch. Damn. So then, from what I hear, things got a little heated in Preston's Discord after Niobe's stream. And he tweeted out, so I guess yesterday's stream caused quite a stir within Peggy's cult. Mad I shared a DM, so now they are sharing mine, and that's fine. Did Larry Holder share this one out? And this is a screenshot. We talked about this, I think, at the time. Preston Poulter was looking for Testify's docs and had even asked for it in a comment of a war campaign stream.
Yeah, a D-Live stream.
In a chat. No, it was a YouTube chat.
No, it was D-Live.
No, it was
No,
YouTube.
it was definitely D-Live.
It was fucking YouTube. I lost
whatever.
it, but
I don't
it
give
was.
a shit.
Okay. And apparently, Larry Holder contacted Niobe and asked if he had Testify's docs because Testify and Niobe had sort of tussled a little bit, and Testify was accusing Niobe of threatening to dox him, which he didn't. It was all stupid, and we covered it at the time. And Larry Holder actually says, I didn't ask anyone but you for that docs. Now, this is a fucking comic creator. This is a guy. Well, I mean, Preston is running his crowd funds. But still, it's the principle of the thing. And Niobe answered and replied to him, so what you did, I consider to be betrayal. And yeah, that's a huge no-no. This is like the worst thing you can possibly do. This is like the golden rule of crowdfunding, right? It's against Indiegogo's terms of service. It's against Kickstarter's terms of service. Fuck. It's even against Twitter's terms of service, even though they don't seem to give a shit. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, is it? Oh, you got more?
That's the last one. I like this one. This goes actually, I think this screenshot goes back to when we discussed this a few months ago. It was back in June, I think. Larry Holder says, I'd like not to be threatened every time I say something online, especially not by a gay faggot from California and a middle-aged skank that thinks she's famous. And then he said he'd come on to defend himself, even though he never even bothered to show up in our chat that night. Now, calling someone a gay faggot is kind of redundant.
This guy is supposed to be a writer. He's saying stuff like gay faggot.
Who says gay faggot?
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
I mean, I am a gay faggot, but you know,
that is
just
beside
redundant.
the point.
Yeah, it's redundant.
And Jesus Christ, I certainly don't think I'm famous. Billy.
But you are old. Anyways.
I am old, but I'm not a skank. I'm just a cunt. There's a difference.
But,
and once again, I'm sorry I fucked up that clip. Okay.
You should be. I was looking forward to watching it.
I'm pretty sure I got the
But
next one right.
speaking of Twitter and doxing, let's watch this next clip.
So let's talk. All right, let's talk about your vague tweet. All right. So it's Vicky, right?
I'm not going to say who.
It's Vicky of Vickyverse.
I'm not saying who.
All right. So
I'm not going
All right.
to say.
Okay, so
you don't
you're
say
not going
who.
to say who
Right,
it
so
is.
apparently
How
it's
about
Vicky
the-
of Vickyverse.
So no, you're not going to say who.
Right.
How about you give us maybe a why or a how?
Let me say it this way. If you take profile pictures and you reverse image search and you start going through places like Instagram and Facebook, you can find some of these people who love talking about criminal activity for other people.
All right, so here it is. This is the description here. Silver coins are 2019 JFK half dollars. They're straight from the mint. They're not available at any bank or in circulation. They're mint silver proof coins for 2019, 99.9% pure silver for the first time in history. So these are silver coins.
In 2019, a limited run of 99.9% silver Kennedy half dollars were struck at the San Francisco Mint. This was the first time that this coin was struck with that high a composition of silver. JFK half dollars made of copper and nickel were struck in 2019 at both the Philadelphia and the Denver mints. This still from the previous clip that was also posted by Thomas Royloke shows the mint mark beneath Kennedy's neck. It is the letter P, which means this coin was minted in Philadelphia and is made of copper and nickel and not silver.
If people are bored, they can. If people are bored, everything's out there, man. It's easy to find. Like I said, I have found other people, and maybe I found this person. I'm not going to say I did or didn't, but I don't want to take credit for it.
It's a little bit of a trip down memory lane, isn't it? And I'm not trying to go at Ethan in any way, shape, or form about that. I was just trying to put everything into like a timeline of context,
Yeah.
because it all happened within a month.
But
Right.
yeah, let's get into the good stuff about it. The juicy stuff.
Juicy stuff. So, where to start? A few weeks ago, I heard that Lola had told somebody who it was that posted the Twitter account that posted my family's docs. I don't think that you asked Tug to dox me. I don't. Honest to God, Ethan, I do not believe that. I never believed that. Tug's a
But
dick.
now that you bring it up, Ethan,
Tug's a dick all by himself. He doesn't need anybody to tell him what to do. Tug did this because,
he's a faggot.
well, he's married with children. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. I know. Anyway, so I had heard that who was behind the Twitter account that posted my family's docs. Now, there actually is a Tug Lola connection to this person, and I'll get to it in just a second. So after, it was probably about a week after that stream, and I'm going to have to share my screen again, and this is a total pain in the ass. So this is the original tweet that Tug had posted, and part of the reason why he posted this was because of a tweet that I had made, like, I don't know.
You gonna share your screen? There it
Yes.
is.
Like months earlier, right? So he says, You ever have one of those aha moments when you find out someone that's been coming at Comicsgate relentlessly making accusations about criminal activity and conspiracy is themselves steeped in criminal activity? Because I just did. Which is the most ridiculous thing ever because it stems from this tweet, which I need to explain just a little bit. The John I'm referring to here is CDK at GDD. Now, he was a war campaigner. He was one of the first war campaigners I ended up butting up heads with during the whole pride is a sin tweet thing. And yeah, this is a total trip down lore lane, so to speak. And he was basically stalking my social media. He went through all of my social media. He started dropping hints about me in tweets that were kind of disturbing. I'm not like I was freaking out, worried or anything like that. But he started doing this, and this
She was
tweet,
big scared.
oh fucking no, of him. He's a total tard. But this was before Edwin went on his big war campaign. We need to stop harassing each other and threatening to dox each other and all of that. So this is actually July of 2019. And so I tweeted at him, don't make an ass of yourself. I know you've been digging. My name isn't very common, but one of us spent time in prison for killing her boyfriend. You might want to make sure you're not fucking with her. Now, I'm not referring to me. I'm referring to the other one. The other girl with my name. And we literally at one point actually lived in the same town when we were kids, which is like the most bizarre thing ever, right? There's only a few dozen people with my last name living in the United States. And there was another girl my age with the exact same name. So I was basically just telling him, to just be cautious because he might end up butting up against someone who's a real bitch instead of just me. And
I think you're a real bitch.
I shit you not. Liam starts giggling on that stream about what were they bragging about? What kind of criminal activity were they bragging about? And I know they were referring to this fucking tweet, right? And Tug's trying to be all cagey and shit, pretending he's not going to tell anything. And then, of course, Ethan sort of outed Tug as the person who did it. And he did it in self-defense because, whatever. I'll skip that one. This, I have redacted some of this because all of these tweets are archived. And I'm not leading anything directly to them. But this is one of the tweets from that account, which actually gave, I don't know why the archiver fucked it up, and it fucked it up at the time. I think it was because there were so many reports coming in about this account. But this had pictures of my sister's house, like the front of my sister's house, and her street, and then and her address, which is really kind of fucked up. I wasn't doxxed. I don't live with my sister. I haven't lived.
But that was the point of the account. They thought it was you, right?
But yeah, this account thought.
Yeah. Now, who is
Tug thought it
behind
was
the
me.
account?
So I heard through the grapevine via Lola that it was Red Gaze.
So this is a DM. You DM'd Red Gaze afterwards. It looks
I just DM'd. I waited a few weeks. The Leroy stream got me thinking, right? I had said that if Leroy was being threatened, if someone was threatening him with his docs, then he should say something. And part of the reason I hadn't said anything a few weeks ago was because of some legal shit that's been going on, right? And I didn't want to bring all this shit up at the time, but now no, things have switched a little bit. So I DM'd him last week on Wednesday, and I said, I've been told that we have something that needs to be discussed. And I wake up.
And what did he say, Vicky? Oh,
Yeah, this was his response. And then this is what happened to the account.
yeah. So it went down like immediately.
It went down.
And he's the only person you DM.
He's the only person I DM'd. Now, some people might say that's not a whole heck of a lot. But, I wasn't exactly roaming around comic skaters, asking, accusing them. Shit, I didn't even mention it. Like, I didn't even mention the fucking account. And it immediately went down. Right? Immediately went down. When all of this occurred last year, Red Gaze was still streaming with Lola. Right?
Mhm.
And from what I've heard is Lola and Red Gaze had like an extra close kind of online friendship.
No,
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah. Now, part of the reason that I do say something and is he's a content creator, man. Right? He has 2 comic books. He's a project manager for somebody else's. But that account went away really fucking fast.
Almost immediately.
Almost immediately. Makes you think. As some would say, it really gets those almonds jogging. So
I don't know who the fuck would say that, but if you say that, I will punch you.
I just
I will take
really,
your fucking lunch money.
There's no other explanation unless he went running off to somebody else, which I highly doubt. Right? I mean, Lola told somebody and wanting it to get to me, wanted me to know, which I appreciate.
I guess Red Gaze must have pissed off Lola.
I
Maybe
think
he started sending his dick pics to somebody else.
I believe so. I believe he's been having a thing with the girl that did the Bonds book, Bonds the Drive, that werewolf thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have an extra close relationship.
Hmm.
I'd also heard a rumor that there was no money to pay her out after a $24,000 campaign. But
Woo!
That's just a rumor.
Yeah. Well,
I got no proof of that one. But yeah.
I think it is time to move on then.
I think it is too.
All right.
It was a dark and stormy night again in CG City. This town will break your heart, kid. Doxings, gay ops, late books, and sometimes no books at all. CG City had it all. The night was like any other when the dame walked into my office, dumpy and angry, a mouth like a sewer. Her mouth was dirtier than the bare feet she walked in on. My kind of gal. Her name was Vanessa, and I could tell she was dangerous. She worked at the local radio station, co-hosting a weekend show called The Chat. Her co-host, Leroy, no, not that Leroy, this Leroy, had disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and his show canceled. I suspected foul play, and so did she, especially after the show had been scrubbed off of YouTube. I said, "Don't you worry your dumpy face about it, Toots. You came to the right place. There's only one idiot autistic enough in Comicsgate to get himself tied up in this mess, and you're looking at him. You just run along home, dollface. I'll take care of it." The broad left as soon as she had arrived, like most women. Story of my life. But there was no point in sitting around with my dick in my paw. there was a case to work. It wasn't long before a message came over the wire. They'd found Leroy. The scene wasn't pretty, but it was definitely him. The copy of Starlight Cats, a book for 10-year-old girls, Leroy's favorite, was still lying on the pavement at the scene. I quickly learned by asking around Leroy's last show had kicked up quite a stir, criticizing a number of the Comicsgate kings, the powerful underbelly that ran this town. Word was Leroy had upset the outfit when he put them on blast over the airwaves for overdue merchandise. This case was already getting me more trouble than it was worth, and it was only going to get worse. I took a few snapshots of the crime scene before leaving the grisly display. There was nothing more to be gained here. Just another sucker in a long list of lost souls who had found their end in CG City.
And I got notified about it by somebody who is in all of these streams all the time. I got a message on Twitter, a DM from somebody going, "Do you see what's going on here? There's, this is terrible for Comicsgate. This guy is saying this stuff on a live stream." And I kind of responded by saying, "You know what? Well, making a big issue of it's only going to make it worse.
Yep.
Like if you're right, you know what I mean? Like being like, hey." It's only going to make it worse. So you just let people have their opinions and just leave them alone. And that was it. Now, you all know who this was, who sent me this message. Woke up and Leroy's taken his whole YouTube channel down. First of all, I have a feeling I know who threatened to dox him, if that even happened. Like, I have a feeling I know. And I think it's the person who sent me those messages in the first place, telling me that I need to turn. And
The Frog Father left the room, while Lord Finatra and his boys processed what they'd just heard. It was a lot to take in, but from the sounds of it, Leroy took his own YouTube life after receiving a dox threat from an unknown Comicsgate creator. I didn't know it at the time, but the papers would soon dub this individual the CG Hitman. Ethan also spoke of another individual, a snitch, who was tipping off the Comicsgate kings. He presumed this CG snitch to be the same individual who threatened to dox Leroy, the so-called CG Hitman. I soon realized it was quite late, even for a night pug like myself, and I determined that I had got all I could out of Lord Finatra and his badges. Finatra and his men seemed more interested in playing Pictionary than solving this case anyway. But maybe that was by design. The reputation of the Stanktown PD isn't the greatest. I should know. I used to be stationed there, till I got thrown out. I was kicked out for sexual harassment. Who knew it was against regulations to hump a dame's leg? What did they expect? I'm a dog. I decided to leave and make my way back to the office. It was late, but I couldn't help give the case another once over before being taken by the Sandman's embrace. The list of people who could have whacked Leroy's channel was long. Too many suspects to name, but I narrowed it down to the most likely. This CG Hitman was good, convincing Leroy to delete himself without even firing a shot. Then there was the issue of the CG snitch. Were they connected? The Frog Father, Ethan Van Sciver, seemed to think so. I decided to review the facts. Leroy had did a show a week ago, denigrating several prominent creators in CG City. Ethan had said that someone we all knew was in his DMs, snitching and concern trolling about Leroy's last broadcast. A rat. A CG snitch. It was likely this snitch was in the ear of several of the other Comicsgate kings. Ethan seemed to imply we all knew who this individual was, that he watched all the streams and was a recognizable name. Someone from the chat? Obviously. But possibly a channel owner. The CG Hitman himself came to a smaller pool of suspects. According to Leroy's last words, the dox threat had come from a CG creator. For a creator to make this threat, it must have been a creator Leroy had backed as a customer, threatening to dox Leroy unless he pulled the plug on his program. It made sense that this was a creator. Money made people do crazy things.
If you haven't watched that fucking video, you need to do it when we're done with our stream. It is
Some people in the chat were not fans.
It was one of the greatest hours of YouTube that Comicsgate has given us after a sketch, after a sketch therapy stream. Like it was beautiful.
That's
And
pretty good.
yeah, Smug did a great job.
Now, there was an interesting comment in the chat just a little bit ago by Matthew Fowler. And he said his guess for the CG snitch is well read. And that actually, I think the same thing. We were going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I also think it's well read. Mainly because it's well read.
Mainly because it is well read.
He has a habit of doing this stupid, weird, like little concern trolling. In like the weirdest way. But also, he is known in like the CG slums on all these streams. Well read does meet that qualification. And then also, he hates Leroy.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody hates Leroy, it's fucking Leroy. But
well, I mean, some people must have liked Leroy.
Everybody hates Leroy.
Shane Davis likes Leroy.
Like I said, everybody hates Leroy, but Well Read actually has like some beef with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my guess too.
It's my guess as well. After snooping around and hearing some things, I'm definitely going with Well Read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that Well Read DM'd Leroy threatening to dox him? I don't think so. I think if it is him, I think that he did DM Leroy and maybe was threatening if you're a giant pussy.
I don't think he was threatening Leroy like with his docs or anything.
I don't think so either.
I don't see one. How would Well Read know?
Yeah, Well Read's like retarded. How would he get Leroy's docs? He'd have to be like good at stuff. I just don't see that happening. Okay, well, yeah,
Well,
okay,
yeah,
so EVS told me it was well read. I just didn't want to put you on blast. Fine.
He was trying to be a little like, trying not to.
But, yeah. But yeah, it was well read, guys.
Yeah.
It's confirmed.
Like I said, we said it last week. Before we knew. I don't think that Leroy was threatened with his docs. I think Well Read probably did confront Leroy in DMs, and Well Read can be kind of clumsy. And like strangely non-specific. If you go back and look at any of the DMs between Smug and Well Read when Smug left Well Read reviews, they're weird. Like the way he talks, it's like he's having a separate conversation in his head than what he's actually typing, right? And so I can see where that would make him feel threatened. But
if you're like a giant pussy.
But damn, if you're scared of fucking Well Read, man, it's a good thing you.
It's a good thing, yeah.
Good thing you're no longer doing fucking YouTube.
Yeah, if you're scared of Well Read,
there's a big, huge fucking problem.
Maybe don't only yourself only from YouTube. Just gonna put that out there. Not a suggestion. Well, kind of not. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, go the link to Smug's video is in the description. Go check it out if you haven't already. If you have watched it, go watch it again. It's better than anything on the networks.
That is true. And Larry Romano says, yeah, Well Read would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for DNV and their dog.
And their dog.
Pug.
Pug.
Anyways.
Extra treats. Now we move on to something.
Hey, I'm the Fight Night developer, Thomas LeBlanc. I also go by Bone on the internet. I'm facing some very serious allegations by my ex, which are completely, utterly false in every single respect. She's accusing me of sexual assault and abuse and stealing her work and racism and homophobia. None of this is true at all. It's doing a lot of damage to my life, which seems to have been the intent. So I've got lots and lots of chat logs and voice recordings that show what I'm saying is true, and also show a side to the relationship I had with this person that they probably did not want other people to know about. And I don't really like that I have to do this, but it's... I just don't really have a choice at this point. So we'll start with the most important thing, which is the sexual assault. So this is my ex's article on me. She claims that after the breakup she had nightmares where I assaulted her. She decided to treat these nightmares as repressed memories. She's remembering nightmares that she had after we broke up, and then is claiming that as proof. I just have to repeat that she doesn't actually claim to remember an instance of sexual assault, and that they're actually real memories. This is very, very tenuous as evidence, if you can even call it that. When we broke up, my ex went through some kind of mental breakdown. She's basically saying that I hypnotized her and repeatedly assaulted her across the entire relationship. And then I also hypnotized and mind broke anybody who got too close to her. She's saying that I conditioned my friends to think that my ex hypnotized them, but that she reversed the hypnosis, and something about putting memories back, erasing memories, I suppose. Here's another post from the same thread where she says that she conditioned me to be afraid of whistleblowing, and then made something called a memory key with the name birds, which makes me terrified of birds, which prevents me from going outside. So here's a Discord log, and she says that she reverse engineered my hypnosis in order to give me a eating disorder, make me go bald, and make me terrified of birds again, and also to get my game canceled, and also that I was torturing her. In this one she's saying that I put my sister under hypnosis and my entire family, and that I tried to make her unable to leave, and that she reversed hypnotized me to be fat and unhappy and worthless. In this one, I honestly don't even really know what she's saying here. She seems to think that I'm in her Airbnb and injecting her with a syringe. In this one she says that when I said you need to sleep, I was putting her under hypnosis, and that basically that there were, when I was telling her to drink water because she was dehydrated, I was actually hypnotically conditioning her to fall in love with me, and that they're gonna blame me when she dies. I am going to play now a audio recording of my ex, which she sent to some people who were friends of hers at the time.
There's so many birds. There's so many birds, he won't know which one. Recording. He won't know which one I'm thinking of. There's so many birds. There's so many birds. Every single bird that you know. Every single bird that you know will become something scary. It will be something scary to you. You don't know which one it is. Is that our Robin? You don't know which one it is. You won't know which one it is. Which bird? Which bird? I don't know. Which bird is it? I don't know. I don't know. Stop. I don't know. Which bird?
So that is
So
a game
fucking crazy.
developer. And his ex is there was much more But you kind of get the fact that she's just batshit crazy, especially once you
Yeah.
get to the recording. But
His
she
name is.
claims that
Can we-
he
can we-
basically stole her idea. His name is
Thomas
Yeah,
LeBlanc.
Thomas LeBlanc.
He
But he
had a-
goes by Bowen on the
Yeah.
internet.
He has a Kickstarter that just finally released. It was a game called Fight Night. And yeah, so she's absolutely batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I feel bad for him because like people were actually believing her for a little bit up until she started sharing her schizophrenia with them.
Like literally, she had a Discord where she invited people, like friends, supporters of hers, and one of them was a guy who had been working on the project. She did a blog post of some sort, and she used the name Wren, spelled Wren. I guess that was the whole bird thing,
Is that a
right?
bird thing?
Yes, it's a type of bird.
Oh,
And
whatever.
this is actually what his friend wrote. This guy that had been working, it was his co-creator on the project, and he's writing about the Discord that everybody had joined. He said it started off at first. It was really kind of, it was a typical like make fun of hygiene kind of shit exes do. People kind of dunking on him until she started getting really fucking nuts. The accusations were alarming, but we chose to believe and support her. I still felt responsible for getting her to the border. He lives in Canada, I guess, and she went up there. She started hosting long voice calls where she would scream, behave hypersexually, and engage in generally unnerving behavior towards us as part of a, quote, self-dehypnotization process, end quote. Her stories became more erratic and unbelievable, suggesting that Bowen had hypnotized her into being suicidal and dependent, was, quote, lacing video game music with hypnotic suggestions, and that he was raping her nightly while she was under this hypnosis. She had started unraveling this bizarre, elaborate plot where she had reversed hypnotized herself and the whole support group. She wanted us to ruin Bowen's life, especially if he continued to work on Fight Night. Okay, dudes, don't stick your dick in crazy and don't let them anywhere near your project. Just saying.
She claims that he like basically stole her work, which doesn't appear to be the case at all. She didn't really seem to have that much to do with it.
She was employed there for a while. She was paid. But she didn't do very much at all.
Yeah. Good point.
Literally. She claims that the conversations were, just the kind of talk everybody seems to have about their work. He was having a bit of block about some writing, and if they just discussed it, she was the one responsible for whatever answer he came up with. I mean, she just sounds nuttier than a fucking fruitcake.
Yeah.
But don't talk about your work with someone you're not married to so that the judge can figure that shit out at the end. And don't stick your dick in crazy.
I think that's fair. All right.
I think so too.
But
right.
There's a link in the description to the guy's he has a
Whole
Google
video.
Drive. And
Yeah.
you guys should go check it out. You should support him through this rough time.
The game is now available through Steam. So hop on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our last clip. Oh. Wait, one sec.
Oh. Dean.
Sorry, I was trying to do the chat a favor.
Fuck you.
So this Requiem one, it's showing a thumbnail of the Smug Pug video. Did you mess that up by chance? Or is this?
It starts off like this.
Oh.
You can't keep getting away with this! You can't keep getting away with it!
What the hell is wrong with you fuckers? A killer is on the loose. There's a hitman out there, George. A CG Hitman. And I'm gonna find the piece of shit. I'm gonna find the scumbag. I'm gonna put him away for the rest of his life and make him wish he was never born!
Alrighty. Well, I think that's it for today's stream.
I think so too. The link to Finn's new channel is in the description.
Yeah, I don't think we put our GEs.
No, I don't think we did either.
Whatever.
Dude's book is over a year fucking late. I ain't putting his channel in my description.
Yeah. Also, like, fuck you, RG. I know what you said on Yellow Flash's stream in regards to fucking me and Vicky, you piece of shit. Not that you even know us, but you did say stuff, you fucking faggot. All right, anyways.
So, thanks everybody for stopping by and joining us this evening.
Yeah. Thanks everybody except for most of you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I boomered that video. I should have checked
You
it.
should be.
before I uploaded.
Like, I was looking forward to that part. You fucking Niobe Comics is like stream sniping us, you know, to talk about it.
I know, but he still
And
got
then you fucking just.
I just fucking yeah.
I wonder if he's still streaming. Maybe
He
we'll
made
try to
the
hop on that.
video. He should know what it already said.
Well, yeah, but you know.
I'll
like-
upload it to the recycle bin.
No, you should just upload it to this
tonight.
channel. Just, you know.
All right, I'll upload it in both. How's that?
How can it be a recycle bin if it was never played? Anyways.
All right, technicalities, Dean.
Yeah.
Technicalities.
You all have a wonderful night, and I am sorry about Vicky.
And I'm sorry about him. Go unsubscribe to his channel.